There's nothing more exciting in a woodland garden than to find a totally new plant from a totally new genus flowering for the first time. This is Ucodendron whartonii, which has been with us for about half a dozen years. When we planted it, we weren't sure whether it wanted to be a small tree or a shrub or even a climber. The only thing we did know was that it had lovely purple undersides to its leaves. It's faded here a bit from what it was last summer, but that was the big excitement to start with. And then suddenly this year, for the first time, Ucodendron whartonii has produced a flower. Quite a few flowers, in fact. And when we look at the flowers, they look a bit like a Hammamellis. Perhaps they look a bit like a Parrotia. Anyway, once it flowered, the botanists have got to work to try and work out what genus it should be in and whether it should be in a genus all on its own. And they've debated long and hard about Hammamellis and other things, and they've come up with the idea that actually this is an unknown species of Disanthus. Now, Disanthus are shrubby plants with multi-stemmed, a bit like this in fact, and they're well known for their spectacular autumn colour, but not for their flowers. And I've just been on a visit to a number of gardens in West Sussex, and we've been looking at Disanthus and we can't find one with a flower on, so I'm afraid I really can't comment on whether this should be a genus all on its own, named after Mr. Wharton, the Canadian collector, or whether it actually is going to be renamed as a Disanthus. Doesn't really matter either way to us. What an exciting moment in a garden like this to see something brand new flowering for the first time. Hardly anybody in this country has ever seen this. I don't pretend it's going to be the best seller, but for a peculiar and unusual new plant, whoopee.